Hello. Hi, everyone. Happy new moon. Welcome, welcome, witches. Welcome, magical folks. And dear Casey Zabala, modern witch themselves. Welcome, welcome. It's so good to see you. This is a really different experience for us being able to be side by side like this. I find it like epically magical the way that we witches weave together. And it's such an honor. Hi, Casey. It's good to see you.
Such a treat to be here. I'm so excited to be initiating our new moon live streams on this
Yes.
Pisces new moon.
Lovely. You know what would be so incredible is we have a different portal where we're reaching you, and there's a different way that the chat is showing up for us. If there's any possible way that folks could roll in, and maybe for this Pisces new moon, you can throw a fish in there or the Pisces zodiac emoji. Say hello for us to be able to have that connection with you. And you know what's amazing about this? In YouTube and in this special portal that we're reaching you on, they tell more folks that we're here and that we are gathered whenever you chat. Hello. Hi, Amy. Oh my goodness. Hi, Emily. It's fabulous to see you. Hello. Hi, sweethearts. This new moon, it feels so important. Not only is it the edge of our zodiac season, Pisces season is, as we're getting ready to burst forth into the zodiac new year with Aries, but it just feels like there's so much that we need to let go of right now. New moons are for initiating new ideas, for resting, resetting, and for laying our burdens down. So I'm just super stoked and honored that Casey went with this idea and gave me some cool inspiration to gather on the new moons of 2022. So thank you all for being here so much. I think it's kind of magical that it worked out that the Pisces new moon is when we started this. We were meant to do it last month, and sweethearts, I had that thing go down like 15 minutes before we were supposed to go on, maybe 20 minutes before we were supposed to go on. That's like every parent's nightmare, where I found out that my kid got in a very serious death-defying car accident. So thank you, Casey, for hanging on and gathering with everybody at Modern Witches. Beautiful YouTube channel. Casey, feel free to put the channel in the chat. I would love to see everybody rush over and subscribe to the Modern Witches YouTube channel, and also my channel. Smash the like button. That's another way that we create digital magic and let more folks know that we exist. It's kind of a neat way that you can tip a witch by liking and commenting and chatting while we're here. And above all, get ready to ignite your ability to renew yourself. And one of the best ways to do that is by lighting a simple candle. I do that with every video that I create over here. I always use wooden matches, and we are lighting this candle to alert all of our spirit guides that we're here, we're open, we're listening, and we're ready to receive messages that are meant for us. I'm also lighting some myrrh. I know Casey has a really lovely bit of spell element to share with us as well.
I'm lighting my Elf Queen incense for us
Come
to invite
on.
this magic to our spaces.
Yes. Elf Queen and Myrrh be our guides. Single firelight as we move in the Northern Hemisphere from winter to spring. The quickening is upon us, sweethearts. I'm just going to keep myself safe over here. Whoops. I have learned to use a hurricane lantern even indoors when there's witchcraft going all around us. So today, Casey and I are going to share some tarot magic. We're going to watch the chat and see if you have any questions or needs. But the way that we like to join and gather, and Casey pointed this out beautifully, the Pisces season is for poetry, is we have some things to share with you. I have a beautiful reading that's brief from the gorgeous book from beautiful Yolo Akili in their wonderful book, Dear Universe. This is on page 18, And Yolo wonderfully says, "Dear universe, today it ends. Today fear will no longer limit my choices. Today fear will no longer restrict my possibilities. Today fear will no longer chart my path. Today I am confronting fear head on. I'm taking my life back. I'm taking my joy back. Today, fear, you and me are going head to head. And just in case you didn't know, the entire universe has my back. I will not be moved. I will not be shaken. I have what it takes to take you out of the equation. I will not rest until my faith in myself is fully restored. Universe, today I end the reign of fear over my life."
May it be so.
May it be so. And so it is, and better. I love Yolo Akili. I haven't met them in person before, but a lot of my friends know them. I think that they're an LA magical person. I love this book. I'm just going to hold up that little ISBN in case you wanted to pick one of these up. Hello, Edgar. I see you in the chat. Hi, babe. I was hoping you'd show up today. Jennifer, hello, my love. It's great to see you. Hi, Melissa. Glass Gavlin's here. Lovely. Arizona in the house. Hi, Gemna Stanley. Did I say that right? Jen M. Stanley. It took me a minute, but I got it. Ever. Hi, babe. Hello, Mandy. It's good to see you. Oh, my goodness. This is lovely. How's everybody's new moon doing? I just want to pause for a minute in case Casey wants to add a little bit of their own magic and poetry or prose with us. I don't want to put any pressure on you, honey.
Oh no, of course. I just had my incense really like fire up all of a sudden as you were naming everyone's names. And it was such a beautiful, just affirmation of all your magic, all your potent spells that you're casting this new moon. I don't have a quote, I don't have a poem, but I do have just a suggestion that we all attempt to sit down today at some point or in the next few days and write our own words down and really be inspired by what we have inside of ourselves, because we're all such a rich wealth of our own magic. And I think this new moon is an affirmation of that.
It's so true. For me, the oceans of emotions that are pouring right now, we're gathered together again, unified in the world around a single place, a single thing, just like we were in 2020 when dear precious George Floyd died at the hands of the police in Minnesota. Here we are, like all gathered, like watching, grim and terrible things happen, and we're all suffering together. And I refuse to bypass how traumatic that is to my body and all of our bodies. I refuse to gather in the name of love, which feels so good, and bypass the big, big headline that there's some epic suffering happening in the Ukraine right now. So as our candle burns bright and this incense is just smoldering extra the minute that I bring up suffering, tell yourself the truth today. That's what new moons are for being here for yourself. When I say lay our burdens down, I mean it. In 2020 on this channel, I celebrated every full moon. I had a really dope honor of sharing my magic, which had been burning bright for 19 years of the big, beautiful full moon on that Halloween in 2020. I shared that in the Many Moons Lunar Planner with Edgar and many fabulous witches. And I decided to share every single full moon on my channel in a very public way. It was magical. Maybe it wasn't the most businessy thing that somebody could have done. And that's what this is. Casey and I hold real magic in the palms of our hands. We are here to give, and we're here to receive as well. This act of gathering on all the new moons of 2022 is an act of giving. So when I mentioned smashing the like button and following our channels, it's a really easy way that you can give back. But we're so stoked and so honored to be here for all the new moons of 2022. I'm looking forward to it. It feels even more honest than celebrating full moons to me. Even though full moons are for celebrating our life exactly as it is, new moons are for really being here for what you're enduring. Right. And so, Casey, your magic is so learned to me. And I know you're just getting ready to graduate from your master's program. So holla, everybody give a huge shout out in the chat for Casey getting their master's coming up in just a couple of months. You are so book smart and so intuitive at the same time. How do you connect with new moons, even through sharing the work of somebody else, like I did in 2020, sharing those full moons from that lunar planner back then?
That's such a good question. I feel like when I was starting out as a baby witch, my new moon experience was really full of excitement because it was an opportunity to get into that space that I love so much about witchcraft, which is honoring the shadow, honoring our suffering, honoring our burdens, honoring our grief. And that's something that is so precious to me about witchcraft, is that it is not love and light. It is everything. It is the full spectrum of our emotions. And to have these really exciting spaces to do that work of releasing and being honest with ourselves about what we need to shift or really get serious about with our own selves. That's such a special opportunity, and it's not something that you see in many spiritual practices. Thank you for all the love, everyone. Wow.
I know, it's
Really good about
wonderful.
this degree all of a sudden.
Hi, Hexabitch. It's so good to see you. Oh my gosh, we're all, we benefit so much from your education, from how you sort of give yourself as an open lute to learning. And it's one of the reasons why I love and trust and invest in Modern Witches, as my family does together. We're so excited to sponsor Modern Witches for another year. It's not casual. On winter solstice, we do like all kinds of different votes as we sleep together by our holiday tree and have a midnight feast. We vote on everything. Funny stuff and serious stuff, financial stuff, health stuff, travel stuff. And as my kids are getting so big now, my goodness, my son's almost 18 years old now. So like not a kid anymore. They'll always be my babies. But it's just really important to us, the works that are being created in community. And I'd like to take a second and welcome everybody to share some things that they are experiencing in my community, over in my Witchcraft Club on Patreon, here on YouTube, and through Modern Witches. Are you going to Spirit Confluence? It's coming up at the end of March. Like, let's have like just a quick little chat. Are you drinking something gorgeous right now? Share that in the chat. Do you have a new offering that you'd like to share with everybody? Please just let us know. I don't know. Learning and being open to learning in a way is saying, I have needs. I seek, I desire. I'm a person with a craving. I'm in pain because I need to heal something. There's something really vulnerable about new moons for me. And we are here to answer questions. We're here to like give you our channeled messages. We're here to pull some tarot cards. Casey and I have something really awesome in common. We're both tarot card creators. This is another thing that was born in 2020, Moon Baby Magic Tarot. And please show off your baby over there, Casey.
Wonders Tarot here, just re-released with Wiser Books.
So gorgeous with those silvery moonlight, gorgeous silver linings now. So heaven.
I want to say something too about what you said about learning, because I just heard this today and it really sparked something for me, is that learning or education is an act of salvation almost. It's like a way for us to reconnect with source or our soul material. And just by being drawn to what you're curious about and exploring, gathering that information, that's an act of centering yourself, centering your soul self. And I just love
Thank you
that.
for bringing in salvation. Such a huge, important theme that Casey and I were intuiting that we wanted to bring in today. And that is the subject, the delicate subject of grieving. New moons really are for laying your burden down. They're for being there for your body. They're for being there for your needs. And when you bring up salvation, this is the idea of being saved by your own love of yourself, being a human, being a person in a body. So if anybody has anything that they're particularly grieving right now and they want to be seen in the chat with that work, you're so welcome. We can each pull a card for our own tenderness right now. In my Witchcraft Club over on Patreon that everybody is welcome to join. You can join from $3 to $33 a month. Our theme this month is compassion. And I just created our monthly tarot spread that's called Passionate Compassion. I mean, that kind of sums me up. Everything that I do is pretty full force and enlivened and impassioned, including when I'm suffering. I try my hardest not to like slink into the shadows and shame myself for having needs and for being in pain. And 2022 is bringing it. I started off the year losing my favorite uncle who we knew wasn't well, but it still fucking hurts. I said I wasn't going to use the F word, hexa bitch. What am I going to do? I have to be myself, right?
Definitely.
And then with my son being in that death-defying car accident that totaled the car and he barely had a scratch and his friend barely had a scratch either. I've been so grateful for my witchcraft, for literally showing a path for me to experience everything I'm going through without shame, fully, you know? So, Casey, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I'm so thrilled that you're the kind of witch that wants to talk about dark moon magic and new moon magic and grief and learning through pain. You know, I say it often, pleasure and pain as equal teachers. Please feel free to share. And I'm going to take a peek at the chat because folks are sharing their beautiful magic with us.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I think this new moon for me has been, I pulled a couple of cards 2 days ago because I really like to get into that balsamic moon place and figure out what it is that needs to be released or reviewed. And it was really the cards I pulled from my Weird Sisters Oracle were what became, so talking about the past, and to bind. So talking about the things that I've bound myself to in the past that maybe are no longer serving me. And I think this year has been such a reality check for so many of us around like what energy we have, what energy we don't have, what we've committed to that maybe no longer is supporting our growth. And so I'm definitely in a place where I'm having to really renegotiate some contracts. And these are things that I also love. So having to create more space for the unknown is hard. It's scary, but it's super important as witches, as people who are navigating a really transformative times.
That is so true. It's like giving yourself the birthright of having a full experience, not just the cute stuff,
right?
The stuff that's literally filtered through applications or photography. The raw truth, the darkness and the light, and darkness has a deliciousness too. That's not saying darkness is the bad or the good. It's that letting that binary disappear and dissolve. But definitely on that new moon, really moving towards what it is that you're enduring, what it is that you're suffering from. Wonderful Savannah said in the chat that they're feeling the statements about endurance and honesty and honoring grief right now. Oh my goodness, of course. And Miriam's with us from Switzerland. It's good to see you. They're drinking good night tea and they're sucking in the comforting atmosphere. I love that. Yes, comforting atmosphere is totally my love language. Like if we could all just be in elastic waistbands all the time, I'd probably be like that much happier, right?
And like
Thank
sitting
you
around
so
the fire
much.
and drinking tea. That's all we want to invoke.
Yes, Jen's got a 4-month-old and they're watching from home. Oh my goodness, I'm loving that. Oh, 4-month-old babies are, oh, so divine, so amazing. So welcome to you and your gorgeous baby. I feel like new moons are like little tiny new years, you know, when we have that reverence for the baby new year, for the possibility, the seed, the idea, the dreams. New moons are for dreaming. That is for sure. So having said that, shall we shuffle our decks and pull a card to support our dreams, our poetry, our grief, our endurance, and our birthright to begin again? And to say bye-bye fear, just like Yolo Akili taught us with their beautiful, beautiful writing. All right, I shuffled my deck and then I broke it into 3 stacks with my non-dominant hand, my left hand, and I'm still going to choose from the middle because I love those authentic pulls where you can see the spontaneity of it. All right, loves, we have pulled the Knight of Lasers with the keyword dynamic. And you know something cool about this? The moon phase that's collaged at the top is tomorrow's new moon phase that's saying, yeah, today we lay our burdens down and tomorrow we ask for help. The knights in tarot are helpers. We deserve help. We can let ourselves rest right now, pray for a miracle overnight, and really literally when we see this waxing crescent moon phase where we have a little sprout of that seed that needs nurturing and protection, we ask for help. The keyword is dynamic, and that means that you can have a little bit of help from lots of sources. It doesn't have to be one big miracle maker. It can be lots of little things that restore you and nurture and protect that little sprout.
I'm so feeling that. I feel like this new moon is really about dreaming. And I think we're going to see in the next couple of moons this opportunity for lots of spell work, lots of magic, lots of putting things into the ground in a real way. So I'm loving this helper energy. Ooh. Okay, so I pulled the 2 of Feathers from Wanderer's Tarot. So
Gorgeous.
gateway, some kind of initiation that we're passing through together on this new moon. And I definitely get the sense that this is something that comes up a lot for me. So I'm going to share it with you all. It might resonate. There's this idea that we tremble across the threshold. We tremble across the threshold through our vulnerability and that fear. And we have to be in that moment where there's so much uncertainty running through our bodies, but we're moving forward. And somehow we have to trust what is in store for us and what is taking shape. Trust what magic can unfold if you trust the cosmos. And so for me, we're really in that place, that 2 of Feathers place where there are some commitments to make, commitments to your soul, that are going to help you unfold in a really dramatic and potent way.
Dramatic and potent. Yes, please. I'm looking for that because I've been doing so much adulting lately.
Yeah.
Like incredible amounts of adulting. And it's tax season and all that. Like I'm not afraid to even call that in. Like fearlessness is a huge, huge theme for me across all dimensions in my life, always has been. And I love Yolo Akili for even daring me to really look fear in the face and say, no, not today, right? Are your feathers wands. Are they fire? I
Yes,
love that about your deck. I love your artwork so, so much. Can you show the backs of your cards?
sure.
They're beautiful. I mean, look
Really
at that
gorgeous.
line by line gorgeousness with that Bindu point, that portal right in the center. It's just
Mhm.
beautiful. Yeah, so feathers in Wanderer's Tarot are wands. It's fire. So we both pulled fire cards. And I'm
Mhm.
excited to share with you too. In my Witchcraft Club, we have the Belladonna Book Club, which the very first book that we're doing is The Artist's Way, and we're bewitching the Artist's Way. And we're in the week where you create a collage. And this time, and this is the 13th time I've done that book, I made a
Amazing.
painting. I collaged a painting, and it's 3 dimensions. I don't know if you can see that there's like driftwood, and I created a pocket right here, and that's where I put our Knight of Lasers in the pocket with spell elements. And one of the spell elements came from a Modern Witches Coven gathering where we studied irises. And I believe that was last spring. Am I wrong about that,
It
Casey?
was. You're
And so
right.
I saved that dried iris, which is part of this, because Casey and I are different kind of witches. We're my favorite kind of witches because there's room for everybody. So shout out to Modern Witches who just came back into the Patreon field today, which is so awesome.
We're so
I
glad.
am a really happy covener from the very first moment that there was a Modern Witches coven. And I hold a coven as well. There's room for that. I'm part of multiple covens, and I benefit from that. I'm able to share that magic with my very own private coven, my Witchcraft Club, and just know that we're dreaming of the potential of somehow around that time of spirit confluence, having our covens gather together in real life somehow, some way. I have my dreams. Just know that I love that Casey and I feel that there's a way that we can concatenate, we can join together in multiplicity and somehow be together in multiple covens, not having some idea that if you're in one coven, you're not allowed to be in another. I've
There's
run into that in 2021, being really banished and shamed for enjoying
Mhm.
multiple witches and multiple portals. But the folks that really love me and get me celebrate that I'm able to be part of multiple covens. And I bring that to my channel. I bring that here to my YouTube channel. I did a huge unboxing last Friday with so many magical folks offerings. And I love seeing them together. A couple of them don't like each other, and I love having them together on my altar. You know what I mean? Let's
Totally.
normalize witches being wonderful to each other.
I love that idea. I think that we're only going to be as strong as our magical folks. And, in the same way that, our world is so polarized right now, the
Yes.
magic is not engaging in that, is
Yeah.
trying to find a way to commune and find kindness and find ways to share and respect each other.
Well, and how much more is Pisces the essence of that
Mhm.
melding, because it's water, and water goes everywhere, and it's mutable, and it swirls and flows, and it gets into every crack. You can run, but you can't hide, but water is life, right? I mean, I love Pisces for giving us that like humble pie, that delicious nectar filled humble pie every single year, where you get to like feel your feelings and accept that you're a person with feelings, and you're squishy and liquid and aqueous and melty, right?
Mm, yes, Pisces magic, that kind of numinousness that we see and we feel during Pisces season,
It's
is
true.
so special.
We hope that you gather with us every single new moon over here, sweethearts. If there's anybody that has questions in the chat, speak now. I want to celebrate there's somebody with a really fabulous name that includes Only in Dreams SX. It's such a gorgeous, it's like X Only in Dreams X, great YouTube name, says that their niece will be born tomorrow. That's beautiful. Celebrating new life. I love that. It's so perfect. And then Jennifer's sharing that they have a connection, that they're a fire sign Aries in their small town in Porterville, which is very, very, very important to me. And I'll tell you why in a second, Jennifer. Iris gets its own Iris festival, usually the weekend of or during your birthday in April. I'm coming up there for the Iris festival. That's everything I love.
Yes.
Porterville is like at the base of an area that's near Springville that leads up to my very favorite place to go camping. It's right off of, is it the Tule River that's up there? It's so gorgeous. There's a place called Moses Gulch. Do you know Moses Gulch, Jennifer? I honestly, let's meet for a witch's brew. I want to come to the Iris Festival. I'm not kidding you.
I want to come to the Iris Festival.
Yeah, let's go on a field trip to the Iris Festival. Let's bring the witches to the Iris Festival.
Yes, Tule River. That's a beautiful area.
It's so gorgeous. There's a time of year on the Tule River where ladybugs just encrust all the rocks near that Moses Gulch area. I was saying, I literally, the first time I saw it, I thought the rocks were red. And I thought, that's curious. It's usually granite up there. You're used to seeing gray, but it was just this vibrant, undulating red. This is before we had kids and we're skinny dipping and having fun up there. And we got closer and closer and it was undulating because it was full of life. It was encrusted with ladybugs. It was one of the most gorgeous, magical things I've ever seen. So beautiful.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that. I'm going to have that image in my dreams.
Yeah, just having a blast. That's your job right now before you have kids, honey. Skinny dipping and letting the ladybugs sweep you off your feet, right?
No. Yes.
If anybody wants to carry this magic further and bring the Pisces magic into their new moon night, grab a green candle at any point in the next 24 hours and ignite that flame and really intentionally do a little gazing at the flame and really think about those burdens that you have right now that you really are allowing to melt out and be expressed. It's one thing to feel, it's the next level to express. I'm sure, Casey, you have something yummy to say about grief and expressing your feelings.
Absolutely. I think, we've been trained by society to ignore those feelings or, turn to something that can cloak them, repress them, put them into a little box. But it's really a radical act to just be present with the feelings that are coming up. And it's not always fun. It's definitely not easy. But if you can go outside, be in nature, let some tears roll down your face, let out some cries, dance it out, paint it out, find a way.
Feel and express. So I will light another wooden match and burn this green candle for all of us. I will burn it all the way through as we say goodbye. I don't want to. I never want to. Know that you can find me over here at 12:30 Pacific on Venus Day every Friday in a big public enactment of love. On my channel, I live stream, including tarot scopes for all the zodiac signs. I get up to different things and different themes constantly. That big unboxing last week was fabulous. Great fun. I unboxed the Money Witches, beautiful new book called Money Magic, and a really gorgeous red candle from, I think they're called Mystic Flame. I got it at the Mujeres Market that was at the Heritage Museum, Orange County. So many things, tarot decks, etc. There's just always so much to share. And I love doing that publicly. But if you want a more intimate look into yourself, if you want a more intimate experience with my magic and yours, join me in my Witchcraft Club. And you'll see me also over at Modern Witches in their Patreon, in their coven over there too. Yes. And at Spirit Confluence, honeys.
Yes, I do want to share that we have Spirit Confluence coming up We have virtual programming on March 27th. So if you're not in the LA area, you can still join us. And we're going to have some fabulous workshops from Black Girl Magic, the Spirit Guide Coach, and
Wow.
Kira of Astrology. That day on its
Wow.
own is going to be fabulous.
Amazing.
Then we have in-person gathering in LA in Highland Park. And we have Yumi Sakagawa. We have
Amazing.
Michelle Palazone, Holisticism.
Fabulous.
And we have the Library of Esoterica. If you don't know, they're gorgeous witchcraft books. They're going to be bringing some artists, some very special panelists to talk about witchcraft and art. So if you can, we'd love to see you. This is a big thing we're doing. It's not an easy thing. We're going to be together, which will be so fabulous. No matter.
Have you seen the Fig House, everyone? It's gorgeous. Now, I'm a native SoCal witch, so I love our architecture in the West. This is like the quintessential delicious modernist building. It's gorgeous, and there's something kind of like wonderfully lived in hippie styling to it as well. It's a beautiful space.
Truly, we're so lucky.
Yeah, this is great. Thank you so much for everything you and Asia are doing. It's just wonderful. Hexa is smoking a blunt with lavender, iced coffee, and lavender incense, listening to us and relaxing. Their Pisces sun is so happy, thanking us. Butterflies, a nice, gorgeous drop of nectar, and a beautiful fairy flying by. I take that so serious, Hexa. Thank you so much. And Savannah is thanking us and saying that they needed these messages more than ever. We understand. All right. In the name of love, for all the irises, all the fairies, all the feelings, all the water, all the oceans of emotions, we send our blessings. We'll see you next new moon. And thank you, Casey, for being here. This is truly a thing of dreams, as are you. I tell you that all the time, and I mean it, honey.
Oh, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. This is perfect. Thank you so much.
It feels amazing. Bye, sweethearts. Take good care.
Bye, everyone.